I think I'm live. I'm not sure if I'm live. My phone's not showing I'm live, but I'll just keep chatting because that's what I do. They call me the Rambler. And if it is 10 seconds delayed, I should be live and hello. There we go. Hi, guys. Nice to see everybody. Heather, all right, you take today's prize. You just blew Mike right out of the water from yesterday. He was 83 minutes ahead of time. You got him. So I'm going to have to say, Heather, you are a professional procrastinator, but that's yesterday. Now we're just rambling today. And let me start from the top as usual. And nice to see you, Heather. I found, Heather, another YouTube channel that is literally the same distance southwest of you than what I am northwest of you. It's a homesteading channel that is near Kingston. I guess it's a little bit farther, but yeah, it was kind of neat. I met them at on a live last night, so that was kind of cool to see another channel that close, and they're a lot bigger channel than what I am, but they tell me it's not all about size. And Kareen, hello. Aren't those drinks amazing? So I was doing some research. I was doing some research on the cruise that hopefully, God willing, we can go on in May. And that's some of the drinks they offer. And it's free beverages. I don't drink a whole lot, or next to ever. I do think I will try one of the three, if not all three. And so, who else we got here? There's Big Matt. How are you, sir? Hope everything's well in Texas. Unlike here, we're freezing. And Mr. Jim, thank you, sir. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well and you're feeling good. And Christian, hello. Rebecca, nice to see you. And well, that's good. I'm glad you got the notification. I think YouTube's actually might have their programming. Although last night I only received one notification out of, my goodness, I was on 4 or 5 different lives last night, and I only got one notification. So anyways, it is what it is. And maybe there's not so much going on during the day, so that's why everybody gets my notification, which, thanks, YouTube. And we have Joanne. Hello. My buddy Craig. How are you, buddy? Hope everything's well in the UK. Yes, you are, Heather. You are the super subscriber of the year. That's still a couple months, but Brutal Bob, nice. It's been what? My goodness, and all of about 4 minutes since we've chatted, sir. Glad to see you're here and that you're doing better. And hello, Lisa. I'm glad you and Jesse had to go to the plant. Huh. Oh, he's packing his person. Ooh. I think he's jumping the gun a little bit. What if you say, no, Jesse, I'm sorry. You've got to work another 6 months. I don't know. I would have procrastinated. It's Friday afternoon, which is close enough to the weekend for me. And Oil and Wellness with Marcia. Hello, Marcia. Nice to see you. And you're coming on the cruise? Go for it. See you in Miami, May. I don't know. It's 1st of May sometime. We're leaving out of Miami and we're doing 4 stops in the Caribbean. St. Thomas, Honduras, Belize, St. Thomas, Honduras, Belize, and Mexico. So, 7 days. That's all it is. And amazing prices. It's a new, well, I shouldn't say new. This will be our first cruise. I've booked 7 of them, but Uncle COVID didn't like the idea of us traveling. So, and I just got, as I was on the chit-chatting with a friend here a little while ago, I just got a update that we may be going back into lockdown. Not happy. We just got notification that all our council meetings will be back virtually again. The Ministry of Health has recommended that we go virtual again due to 4 cases of the airline version of the hokey pokey. Hey, I did that pretty politically correct. And who else have we got? Oh my goodness, it jumped on me again. Thanks, Craig, for dropping the links. I appreciate that. Woodworking with Wiley. Hello, sir. Boop. There. Comment for me, Wiley. Say hello. I just want to make sure something just worked. Oh, I get it, Lisa. I just was trying to save you the hassle of him being under your foot. That's all I'm trying to do. Oh, there we go. Now, don't hit me with that wrench, Wiley. And that's perfect. Craig's putting everybody's link. If you don't see your link, just let us know. It's Rambling Friday. We'll chat and we'll share and have some fellowship. And there's Jason. How are you, sir? Haven't seen you in a while. Hopefully things in Illinois are all good. Everybody's safe. Yes, I know it's evil. It's evil, Wiley, but that's okay. I trust you'll be very proficient with the wrench. And I suppose, Lisa, you know, the old Santa Claus, he'll grow on you. You know, he's a good fella. At least that's what I'm going to say here, because maybe I'll edit it before he watches, because, you know, I don't want his head to swell or anything. That's just not what I'm into. Then he'll get his ego, and we'd never be able to get him on a live because I couldn't fit him on this side of the screen. Like he'd just take too much of the screen. And Little Southern Brothers, hello. Those of you that are new, I think mostly everybody knows about Donna and Pa, and the four kids are doing a fundraiser for St. Jude's. They, correct me if I'm wrong, Donna, the last time I looked, you're at 7,600? 7,600 out of their $10,000 goal. I'm really, really hoping that we can push them over the 10,000 today, and then we can have one heck of a shindig on the 20th to wrap up the fundraiser. But what an absolute amazing idea, you know. Everybody knows what I think of. Okay, yeah, 7,600 they're at. So you know what? The first night we did it, we got $4,000. No, second Friday was $4,000. So if we do, you know, even if we were to do $3,000 and set us up right at that 10,000, I say we. I'm only the sheriff. I just boot out the bad people. Between me and my deputy and my deputy's wife, we got it. And but anyways, if you're not subscribed, Craig has just put their link in the comments, and it's 7:30 Central Time tonight, which those of you on the East Coast is 8:30 our time. And it's, you know, even if you have $1, I guess it goes up by 5. So even if you have $5, it's all, you know, it goes to the kids, and everybody knows what I think about kids. Without the kids, we have nothing. So, you know, the two big ones that I want to see succeed right now are Little Southern Brothers and Altruistic, if you can put their feed in as well. And Wiley and Jen are absolute salt of the earth individuals who are teaching their kids on the right path, and just good, wholesome folks. And I'm so blessed. Like I said to Wiley, you know, I still don't understand how our paths crossed. But the good Lord put us in the same path, and I'm sure glad he did. We've had some interesting conversations, and it's been a lot of fun, and will be a lot of fun for years to come. Now I just got to try to figure out how to book my next cruise, switch it from New Orleans to Galveston, which then I can land in Oklahoma, rent a car, and drive to Galveston, which, help me out here, guys, 5-hour drive from, say, OKC to, well, it would have to be out through Davis and then up 35 and then, back to 10 or whatever. It's probably the long way, but I would... just a sec. I just got a message here. Daz, are you on here in the background? I think that's who just sent me one. Just give me a sec here, guys. While I'm doing this, don't worry. Wiley's going to sing and dance. Thank God I didn't share the link yet, but that's okay. Go ahead, Wiley. You can entertain us. Yeah, if you're in here, Daz, it didn't go through. And so those of you that have seen Oh, I love Daz is sending me some new logos. I just put out a video, about an hour and a half ago. Just my luck. Being far too trusting. I purchased the logos that everybody voted on the last time, and I went to add them to merch. Well, they're of poor quality and cannot be used. I contacted the company. They're gone. So there's another $100 out the door. But I have so many guys that are behind me that do this for fun, and they're a heck of a lot better at it than what I am. Yeah, I think he is lurking, but that's okay. It's, again, 2:00 in the morning there. So he's probably in between cat naps. So those of you that saw the 5, Daz just sent me another one. I'm going to show you. So for those of you that haven't commented yet on the video, so I have 1 through 5, and we're going to call this one Daz. Come on now. It does look much better on my phone, guys, but I think that looks pretty cool. So that'll be the Daz choice. There he is. Oh, Daz, I'm never, ever, ever. I appreciate you so much. And so since it happened and I posted the video, I still want everybody's it's just it'll probably, I don't know. It'll be one way or the other. Temper, I'm not sure. We will we'll see how I end up editing the final ones, but it's all good. Anyways, my good friend over at I don't know if I can use his name, but a very good friend of mine has helped me out, and I'm good to go. This company will not try to do me bad because, yeah. He's made 5 logos that you've seen that I don't have to pay a ridiculous amount of money for, which, yay me. I like it. And Hickory Croft Farms. Well, hello, internet neighbors. Heather, that's the channel I was telling you about. They're down around the Kingston area. So, Craig, if you could share Hickory Croft Farm, that'd be great. And Craig has shared a bunch of channels already up near the top. So if you would like to, if you see a channel that you don't know, feel free to sorry guys, I'm just trying to get back to my main page here, and there we go. Absolutely, we're practically internet neighbors. As the crow flies, we're about 80 miles. So that's pretty close. And Hickory Croft is a Canadian, a fellow Canuck, and got a great farm and homesteading, and yeah, welcome to the family. And we Friday's usually our chat day, and I'll open up the chat here in a little bit. I was told to look out for packages, but none have arrived. So they're either stuck in the US at customs. It takes a while. What I'm going to do, hey, Bob, I've got an idea. I'm going to have all my packages sent to you, and then you can fly over and drop them, and I'll catch them. Hey, this might be a good video. But no funny stuff. You're not allowed to put a brick inside of the package and drop it, because that would hurt the moneymaker right here. And goodness, we don't want that. Oils and Wellness, Marcia. Oh no, where did Marcia go? Oh, she jumped up here. I'll be doing my first live next Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Whereabouts are you, Marcia? Because there's, just from the people in here, 5:30 p.m. means 6 different times. We just need to know what time zone you're in. Oh, see, great minds think alike. Oh my goodness, Mike's got control of the big channel. Oh dear goodness. Oh. Mike, you better make sure you leave that channel the way she left it. I saw the looks that you got the other day whenever you touched her programs. I believe actually that was last Friday that you were closing her programs, that you got the side words, you screwed up. And you know what I mean. Yeah, I must have missed whenever you said that, Bob. Anyways. Funny how even Craig knows what's going on. Here comes trouble. Yep. Always. Mike's only a little trouble. Anyways, that's about all I have, guys. I apologize for the lack of videos and whatever else, but it's been a pretty difficult few weeks. But I think they have me back on the straight and narrow, and my pain is totally manageable again. Got out of control. And everybody that has anything to do with severe pain knows what I mean whenever it gets out of control. But yeah, we're back. I've actually taken a little bit more to bring down my levels. It's funny, I don't like to use the big, heavy narcotics. It's not me. I don't like it. I don't like the feeling. And I personally think I have an addictive personality. I don't want to put that in. I don't want to add any problems that I don't really need to add. So we've worked through it, and it might take me a little bit longer, but I think it's all for the better. And it's funny. I had sorry guys, there's one fly, and yes, if Alicia's here with Mama, oh my goodness, brain fart. Daz, what's Alicia's channel again? Anyways, Daz will put it up. I forgot. Brain fart. she has flies that she keeps as pets in her summer kitchen. Not this guy. I get rid of them. I don't like flies. So here's today's link. Anybody wants to come on and be positive and have some, yes, thank you, Jason. Oh my goodness, don't. Oh, I feel horrible. But it is what it is. I did some more cleaning out of accounts. I think I'm down under 400 channels now. And I added some more last night, but I'm pretty sure I'm under the 400 mark, which, yay me. Oh, I knew that was coming.
Sure.
Hey, buddy.
I'm under the 400.
You got YouTube up too.
No, got nothing up now.
There we go.
I let it all go.
What's going on, buddy? How was your week?
Wow, it was a busy week. A lot of stuff going on at work and a lot of changes, but we made it through. And well, at least we only had 3 days of work this week because Monday was a holiday, of course.
Oh, that's right.
And Friday's my Saturday, my first Saturday. Tomorrow's my second Saturday. And Terry's out of town.
That's it, my mother-in-law.
Yeah,
I know. So you're batching it on top of that.
Yeah. I did all her chores this morning and got all that done and gave some eggs away to the rancher next door. And he brought back Terry. We ran out of egg cartons because we've been giving eggs away so much. And so she gave him a Tupperware thing full of eggs. So he brought that back, and I gave him some more eggs and stuff. So he's a great neighbor. He's a rancher, has about 200 head of cattle next door to us. And we like to keep a neighborly relationship up with our neighbors. So that's good. Now, she's in Missouri because her uncle passed away.
Didn't you say you just got a...
A what?
Yeah. So you don't have the grandkids though, right? They went back home?
No. They're at home. That was last weekend. That was the nightmare from last weekend. So
okay. I wasn't sure if you had the grandkids the whole time. I was going to say you'd have even less hair.
Yeah, it'd be pitted in my head. But I'm gonna tell you something. I love my grandkids, but that's a young person's game. That's not for an old man like me. So, but Terry's in Missouri. Her uncle passed away, and she is there helping her aunt get through all this. And so she'll be back. I don't know when she'll be back, but once they make all the plans and everything, she'll be back here in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Big Matt.
So what?
Bye.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He was here and now he's gone. Oh, there he is. He was here and then he's gone and now he's here and now now he's back.
Oh, well, I seen him the whole time.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you could see me.
He was in and out of here. I didn't know.
Oh.
I can now. It could be my Wi-Fi too. It's been acting up.
Hey, you got a little bit of a delay on your end, Scott.
I'm going to try to go over to a hotspot on my phone here.
So, Mike, how's the turkeys?
Dude, they're huge. I tried to pick him up, and I will tell you, he's probably close to 19 pounds or so. And he was hatched in March, and he is a big boy. My God, he's a big boy.
Good.
Now he just don't shut up for nothing now. I mean, I was outside a minute ago, and one of the hens, of course, she laid an egg, so she has to tell the world that she laid an egg. And he just blah, 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 just walking around, flapping his wings, and then strutting and doing his little dance. I'm going, dude, it's not your baby. Or maybe that's why he's dancing. That's how it is.
Maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, and I Terry never lets them out. Every time when I go out there in the morning, I open up their pen, let them come out. They chase grasshoppers, eat everything, and when I bring the feed out and I shake the bucket, they come running right back in. So she just gets scared because we have so many hawks here. That's why she doesn't let her chickens free range. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not talking a few hawks. I'm talking a lot of hawks in Oklahoma.
I let mine free, but where they're at, they go out into the pasture, and I leave brush in certain areas, and to kind of help keep that,
Scott, you're back.
He was out, and he was there. Out.
He hasn't responded yet. He's frozen. Now his eyeball moved.
I'm there. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right.
That was a 9-second
everybody
delay.
Hear and see me. Okay. Well, I'm over on cellular, so we'll see how long this holds up. The car accident down the end of the street. So, okay. Well, that's not bad. It's normally 10 to 15 seconds away. So now that we're caught back up again.
Okay. Yeah, you're still frozen on the picture.
Although, that is
Give me a minute. Go off. Yeah, I'm going to try going off my phone.
I'm not buffering, am I?
No, you're fine.
What's that, Matt?
Big Matt, he's nice and clear, fine, and now, hey, whoa! Now I got two of you. See, I can see that now. You're nice and clear there.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, whoa!
Okay. There.
Yeah, I can see you. I can hear you.
Okay, so we're back. I'm going off my phone now.
Oh, there you go. That's clear.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, now you got an echo. You got your other thing on.
Okay, hang on. I hate technology.
Is his phone too close to the computer?
Yeah, he's got the two channels open.
See, that's why I haven't done a live yet, because I don't know how to do all that stuff yet.
I'm telling you, it's a learning experience when you go live. If you say, man, I've got everything right, everything's ready, and then boom, the ceiling caves in.
I think it's all good now.
Okay. You're loud and clear.
Okay. I can hear you a little bit, so that's good. I can see the chat. Sorry about that, guys. There was an accident up the road. They hit the telephone pole. I guess they've done damage to our lines.
Yeah.
So needless to say, I'll be on cellular.
There you go.
So long as that works.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing that I have learned is when I'm on live, I have my phone for this part, and then I have my iPad for the chat and everything else.
Yeah.
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 You can either do that.
Turn the other one down because everybody gets mad, especially Scott.
Yeah. That
I don't
backfield.
get mad. I get even.
That's the way to be.
Yeah. Now
So this is
we have our main we have like it's a computer. It's a Google computer, but it is a Dell, but it's a big screen and the computer's inside there and all that stuff, and it's got a wireless thing here and wireless everything, and we just have it in our dining room, and because it gets best reception, and she likes it because she's on the computer all day long, that woman. So I think she's having withdrawals because she called me this morning and she goes, "Hey, I tried to call you last night." I said, "I was on a live with who was that? Bland's Promise Bland Ranch last night." And I said,
Yeah.
I left my phone on vibrate because I was in meetings all day yesterday. So I just said, "Well, forgot to put it on." She goes, "Oh." I said, "What do you think I was, out at a bar somewhere?" You got time for no bar.
Too old for that stuff.
That's it. I got my if our bar in the kitchen and that refrigerator doesn't have it, I don't need it. So we're good.
It's funny. I had a mysterious packet or just an envelope sent to me, and it was a girl's handwriting. And Debbie's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "I don't know." She's like, "You're not going to open it?" I'm like, "I can." "Well, it's a girl's handwriting. What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. Open the damn thing."
Yeah.
It was a death notice from my friend's father that passed away 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, there you go.
Yeah.
So when I get ready to send stickers, I need to make sure my wife writes everything.
There you go.
Yeah. Usually the Wi-Fi is a bit slow here, but it'll work. But today they've really nailed it. Hey, what am I, chopped liver, Mike?
What's that?
No. Mike from Vision Acres said, hello, Big Mike and Big Matt.
Well, it might be Chelsea too.
Normally it's Matt procrastinating in his office.
Oh, okay.
We do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. I am so sorry. I was the first one. Okay. I take it all back now. I'm so sorry.
There you go.
Oh, gracious.
Okay, it is Mike.
Yeah. See? It's funny. You get to know, well, obviously the girls type full sentences with, all the right punctuation, and a lot of us guys just stream out a sentence. So I get to know who's typing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, see, and I didn't know this. I went to a sociology training course or some crap like that years ago, and they started off the whole thing with the difference between men and women. And I said, well, I got to listen to this because I haven't figured it out yet. And I would think I was like 45 at the time. And they said, let's take a mall where you go shopping, like the shopping mall. Look at a mall, how they set it up, and where the stuff specifically for guys are located in the mall. They're all near exits. They're not into the heart of the mall, because men tend to, I need a shoelace for my shoe. So I go to the shoe store, I need a shoelace, I get it, and I leave. Where women's stuff is all deep in the mall, because the whole, gathering thing throughout history, they put everything there to draw them in to the kill zone, which is where all the good stuff is. Where we try to find a bench, we find a bench and we just wait for them. Okay.
Amen.
And if you go to a mall and you see the benches that are outside the stores, who's sitting on the benches? Because we have no need to go inside there to like a Victoria's Secret, a JCPenney's. Now, if we go to a JCPenney's or a Sears, we go in there and get our stuff and we get out. And we never step off the walkway, because once you step off the walkway, someone comes up to you and says, hey, can I help you? And you know that. So that's just this, the 101 thing, how you try to figure people out is look how they build stuff for the genders. So it's kind of weird.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think that's why they made drive-thrus. Because you just don't want to get out and go and because we're so used to being on our phones and talking to people and yada, yada, yada. So they created drive-through so you can talk to a box, drop money, and grab your stuff and go. And it's not a social thing anymore.
But see, me and malls don't go.
No.
I don't. But you take me to a fishing store, a camping store, a hunting store, or even a feed store, and I can spend hours in there.
Sure. What was it? A couple of weeks ago, I said, oh, they got a Harbor Freight here. And first thing out of Terry's mouth was, oh, good God. Because she knows I'm going to pull in there. She goes, you have everything in here. I said, well, I might not. I don't have that one little fancy wrench or something like that. So,
night, Dad.
Now, Terry, I can't get Terry out of a country store like Orchland's or Tractor Supply, she's in there. If I leave her alone, she's coming back with a car full of crap because she has to buy everything that's country and farm related, but she won't let me have a tractor. So we're at a standstill on the tractor. And I love the old girl too much just to go out and buy one behind her back.
She's coming around though, Mike. Before it was no, or she just totally not even look at it. At least
the day she goes, okay, we'll look at it. That's the day I buy a tractor and bring it home.
Smart.
There you go.
You make it look like it's her idea.
You have to.
Amen.
You have to.
I've been married too long.
Did you ever see that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding?
Yeah.
You got to make sure the seed's planted, but he comes up with the idea. In my case, I got to make sure the idea comes from her. Then I'm golden. This all may backfire on me, trust me.
It's simple. Just tell her, you want a garden, right? I need a tractor.
Yeah, she found out that she's not the green thumb she thought she was, because she started off this year in planters. Big, the big molasses tubs, for cattle. That's what she started off with this year. Now it grew, but it exploded on her. And she had so much stuff sitting on the counter, she couldn't cook it fast enough. So she's realizing I don't need 16 pepper plants for 2 people, and I don't need 15 tomato plants for 2 people. You can't keep up with it once it starts growing. So now she just bought a bunch of canning stuff. She went to a store and all this canning stuff, the jars, the lids, and she doesn't even can. but I got all these cases of cans, jars and everything on my counter now. I said, wait, what did you buy this? She goes, well, I might want to learn how to. And I have these in case. I said, well, there's people out there searching for these things. And you just bought 8 or 9 cases with extra cases of lids and jar, all kinds of stuff. I said, see, that's what they talk about. You guys, these preppers talk about you guys taking stuff and there's nothing available for anybody else. So, and that was that.
Yeah, Mike's telling us to be quiet, that we're giving away all our secrets. And all the girls
need to know the secrets.
It's their ideas. That's what they.
If you share the secrets, there's no fighting. Then the women know, and they can use. Yeah, that's what's going on in their brains. Because right now they're just guessing what's going on in our brains. All we need to do is eat, sleep, and a little bit of loving. We're happy made. Okay, that's it. That's a perfect life. We're creatures. But I'm telling you something. I'm 60 and I ain't figured it out yet.
We never will.
No.
I don't know. I'm doing something all right. I'm going on 26 years.
Well, I'm talking about figuring them out.
2 simple words. Yes, dear.
Yeah, see?
Or, okay, dear.
And it's like my son-in-law. I told my son-in-law, I said, why do you argue with her? He goes, well, she's not right. I said, dude, she is right. I said, you just got to take a bullet for the team. I said, you will never get anywhere with a combative attitude with your wife because you're going to lose.
That's right. Some marriages work like that. And
yes,
they like it and they put up with each other, because it keeps the spice of life.
Yeah.
But you got to pick your battles.
Yeah.
You got to know when to dig in your heels and when to just skip along.
I ain't figured it out yet. I've been married 14 years and I ain't figured it out yet.
No. Well, see, that's the first sign of recovery is admitting that you have no idea what's going on. Okay. Well, yeah. And in this case, it's the first step to a happy marriage is, hey, I admit I don't know, and I admit that you're right. And when you say that, I don't say it like right now when Terry starts talking. Before, I would just keep talking and we'd have a battle over who was talking. Now I just shut up. And it shows in our lives. When I'm talking and all of a sudden she says something, I just go mid-sentence, I just stop. And it's the best medicine. Just listen. And if men listen more and just put everything aside and you just listen to your better half, guess what? They're going to go, first of all, there's something wrong with you because you're not interrupting me. Then when they get used to you listening, Terry goes, you're the only person that just absolutely sits there and just listens to what I have to say. I said, because it's not a competition. Maybe it's because I'm 60 years old, but I don't want to compete with my spouse over dumb stuff. We don't fight about, I forgot to take the trash out. And we don't fight about, you bought the salted butter instead of the non-salted butter. I just said, here, take my Jeep, go buy it, da-da-da-da. And me and Terry get along so freaking well. I've never been in a relationship in my life like this. And maybe it's because we've both been married before. We both learned our lessons. We both have our war wounds. But we're like best friends and I love it. So,
and that's the way to have it.
That's it.
And it helps that you're a good fella and Terry's an amazing lady as well.
As long as you don't mess with her computer.
Yeah. Oh, the look that he got whenever he closed some windows last week, I was
scared.
It hit him, and he couldn't see. Yeah, hopefully you went back and looked because you could not see the initial. You just did what?
Yeah.
I see.
I was just scared.
A couple other people that just came in. Hey, Brandon, Rustic, Patty, Brampton Gardner, hello. And that's pretty much. And then everybody's saying hello to everybody.
Rustic Woodwork and Families in here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I like me some Brandon and Stephanie. They're good people.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And thank you again, Brandon, for your service down there. And
Yes.
you for everybody. And on that note, we can't forget about old Brutal Bob.
Brutal Bob.
For his service. And I forget how many years you said, Bob, 30 some odd years in the force. I'm glad you're back, Rebecca. Welcome back.
Brampton Gar. She says, I need to replay this for my husband. This is like a training. This is a training session for men and women.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, it took me 60 years to figure this out. If you're married and you're in your 30s and stuff, you need to start now, because you can have a very happy life if you just follow simple rules. And simple rules dictate that, if you're married and your spouse is not your best friend, then you're going to fight all the time. Just look at best friends. If you look at two girls that are best friends, okay,
Yep.
just take that for an example, or two guys that are best friends. They don't fight. They don't argue. If men get angry, they let it out. They chest bump or fist bump, and it's all over. Now, a woman gets mad at another woman, that could last the whole lifetime. That stuff runs deep. But if you look at best friends and why they're best friends for so long, because they support each other. A man and a woman can support each other emotionally in every way like that. So if your spouse is not your best friend, you got to look at what are we doing wrong, and I truly believe that. I met Terry. Here's a funny thing how I met Terry. I was divorced. I've been divorced for like 9 years from my first wife. I was married for 22 years. And then I retired from the military. And I was home every day. And we realized we didn't even like each other. Because it was cool. I was deployed all the time. She goes, "Isn't there a war?" I go, "Holy crap." I was deployed all the time. I was temporary duty all the time. I was in the military. And then when I retired, I was home every single day. And we realized we didn't like each other. We parted in very good terms. She moved back to Germany, and the kids were old enough to decide who they wanted to stay with. Of course, they wanted to stay with mom. They went to Germany. They were there for like 6 months and said, "Dad, please let us come home. We don't like it over here. These people are crazy. We don't want to be over here." So they came back and they lived with me, and I raised them till they got out of the house. Well, I've been divorced for 9 years, and I'm sitting there, and somebody says, "Well, you need to get on a social media platform. They got a thing called MySpace." This is before Facebook. And so a friend of mine, his daughter, who was smarter than us, set me up an account, and she said this gave me a training course on how it all works. So I'm on there, and it says back then you could put in a zip code to see who's in your zip code and stuff like that, not like Facebook does now. And so I go, and all of a sudden Terry's picture popped up. I said, "Man, that's a good looking woman. This says single." Or no, it said it's complicated. That's what it was. And I'm going, I sent her a friend's request and stuff like that. And she's, we were texting back and forth and stuff like that over a few weeks. And she goes, "You do know that I live with somebody, right?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I didn't read the whole profile." And that's how we met. And it just so happened that we knew each other for 2 years. But we're from a small town. And I knew everybody she knew, but I didn't know her. And then there was a break in her relationship and stuff like that. And then I asked her, I said, would you like to go to dinner and stuff? And we went out to dinner, and we've been together ever since. But it all started off with being friends and stuff like that. Of course, I was attracted to her. So, she just seen a bald-headed guy on the other end of the picture. But that's how Terry and I met. I was on MySpace.
I have a really close friend that I consider a sister. She called me, and her husband one night called me and said, hey, come over. We're watching movies, and I had just got out of a really bad relationship, and so I was like, I was going to go out, but I think I'd rather just go hang out with friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And I came over, and there was this lady sitting on the couch, and I'm like, y'all are wrong, trying to set me up with somebody. And neither one of us wanted to be set up. Neither one of us, wanted to have anything to do with each other.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks later, we were engaged, and a month later, we were married.
There you go.
When it's right.
Yeah.
And it's give and take. And I know she gives a lot more than she takes, but
yeah.
Don't they all? I'm sorry, but my wife is a godsend. I couldn't put up with myself, and she's put up with me for a lot of years.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, our funny thing is that Terry, when I joined the Army, Terry was like 8 years old. And she always throws that up. She goes, well, you robbed the cradle because you were 18, joined the military, and she goes, and I was like 8 years old. I'm going, it's kind of weird if you think it that way, but when you meet. And we've been married 12 years. So that means I met her when I was 48. Yeah, 48 when I met her. And she was 39 or something like that. So that doesn't seem so.
There's Ridge Life in the house.
Go Ridge Life. Hey, guys, do you guys know Tim at Ridge Life? Can you guys put your fingers like this and say, go Ridge Life for me?
Go Ridge Life.
Oh, they're not allowed to say that in Canada, not in public.
Oh, I'm just playing with them.
Yeah, I think we started that. We were at Silver Dollar City in Missouri, down in Branson. And some guy that's in the band, he had his overalls on. He was in the hillbilly band. He was leaning up against the stage. And I said, I'm going to go over there. I said, hey, do you know a guy named Tim? And he goes, Tim? I said, yeah, he's in Tennessee. He has a channel named Ridge Life. And he goes, no, I don't think I do. And I said, well, he does this thing where he goes, go Ridge Life. Could you give him a shout out? And the guy has a real baritone voice. And he just goes, go Ridge Life. But when I asked him, I said, hey, you're being filmed. He was standing there, and all the employees are supposed to have a mask on. So he brings up a bandana and puts it over his nose and his mouth when I tell him he's being filmed. So that's how it all started. Gave Tim the idea. Then we went down to Eureka Springs, and we were in the shop, and we asked one of the shop ladies behind the counter to do the same thing. So she was happy to do it. So I think that's where he got the idea for it. So
that family did it also, right beside
the family right next to us at the pancake house.
Yeah. I remember McKenna's pancake that was the size of her. For goodness sakes,
I didn't even know they made dishes that big.
That was served on a platter, man.
Yeah,
that was a dish.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It's nice to know that I'm not the only big person around here.
That's right. Well, I used to be, before we moved back to the States, I was 325 pounds. And now I'm 270 now. But and I was just, when I was in the Army, I think when I retired from the Army, I was 230 and I was lean and mean, 6'4". And then after I got out, I just said, I'm never doing PT anymore, physical training no more, getting up at 5:30 every morning and running and doing all that stuff for 25 years. It keeps you in shape. But then when you're not doing it, yeah, your body and your years catch up with you real quick. So I figured I need to change the way I do things. No more heavy beers and German beers and eating till you can't move and stuff like that. So I kind of changed all that stuff, and I've lost almost a good light person over I've lost 50, 55, almost 60 pounds since I left Korea. So
Wow.
Just changing the way I eat. And now I can't eat nothing.
That's all I did, but just changed. My heaviest, I was 420.
Oh, wow.
6'4", 420.
Yeah.
And just as COVID hit, I broke the 300. I was down to 291.
Yeah.
Now back up about 20 pounds, but I'm still, the way I look at it, I lost a person.
Yeah.
And I feel a hell of a lot better, and it's taken a lot of stress off my neck, which is going to prolong that surgery. So, but let's face it, it's not easy, because everywhere you turn is sugar. Doesn't matter what.
Yeah.
Like even I was just looking for different pickle recipes that I might want to try. 90% of them are all sugar, and it's processed sugar, not even natural sugar. And I know sugar is sugar, but I like to think that the natural maple syrup, honey kind of deal is better for you than the white processed bleach stuff. But
yeah. Well, I did find out that, because I'm a type 2 diabetic, but when I was at my heaviest, I couldn't control my diabetes for nothing in the world. They tried everything. Daily injections and pills and all that kind of stuff. But I lost 60 pounds, and I can control it with no problem whatsoever. And they've downcreased my milligrams of my medicine and stuff like that, and I can still control it. I did cut out all sugar and stuff like that, and all white flours and all that kind of stuff. I cut all that stuff out. Like the other night on Wednesday, we were drinking those soda pops that Terry and Brittany brought back. And dude, I was on a sugar. I was so silly. I was like a 14-year-old girl. I was sillier than crap on that thing, because that sugar was just like, oh my gosh, because I haven't had it in over a year. And it's crazy. It's like if someone gave me a French fry, my body would start craving it, because we only eat sweet potatoes. That's all I eat is sweet potatoes. And I'm going to tell you something. I was sitting there and I was just like, we were somewhere. I think Brittany or somebody had a plate of fries, and I reached over and my wife looked at me and goes, and I ate it. I'm going, oh man, it was like, that was really good. My body, they went back and got more. And my wife had to go move the plate over. She goes, it's for your own good. So, yeah, once your body misses stuff. It's just like, it's like a drug, and you want it back in your life. So
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Your mind tells you want it, and your other mind's going, you have the devil and the angel. Yeah, have it. No, don't. And
that's right.
Yeah.
He's the lucky one. He's got both of those, and his wife is looking out for him.
Yeah. Now, my wife still cooks like she's cooking for 20 people. And I don't know why she does that. because we never eat leftovers, but now we have chickens. Okay, chickens love Terry's cooking. You know, she every once she'll go to the store. Like she came home one day and she had a bag full of cabbages. I said, "What are?" And she goes, "No." She goes, "I seen something on YouTube. You got to keep your chickens engaged and stuff, or they'll peck their eggs, or they'll do something, and yada yada yada." So she goes out there and she gets this eye bolt. It's about yay long, and it's got a screw on the bottom with a big fat washer. And she shoves that through the cabbage and she hangs it from the thing. And she gets it to a point where the chickens, when they get to the top of the cabbage, they have to jump up and peck it. But they tear into it like sharks, you know, like a wounded fish in the ocean. I mean, they're all over this stuff. And she goes, "Oh, isn't that neat?" I go, now she's buying stuff like toys and things that you put in your chicken coop to keep your chickens occupied like they're pets in your house. You know, my floor is full of dog toys, and she buys everything that says this is dog indestructible. Nothing is indestructible with these two dogs. I mean, they fight over everything. One would pick something up and they could have a toy over here. As soon as one of them picks something up and walks away, the other one attacks it to take it away. And then they go over there and set it down. They don't really want to play with it. It's like kids, you know? So I don't even have to watch YouTube. I can watch these two crazy clowns in my living room. So
Yep.
it's funny. She's.
So I got to get off because my phone's fixing to die.
All right, brother.
All right, Matt.
But I am going to be in the chat. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for your service, Mike.
Oh, you're welcome.
Scott, it's always a pleasure.
Always nice to see you, my friend.
You always have a kind thing to say, and you make everybody feel welcome.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Then let me know, because I'll come meet you. Because I'm literally 15 minutes away from Galveston.
Oh, really?
There you go.
North or south of Dallas?
Galveston.
Oh, Galveston. Oh, okay. All right.
He's going on Galveston.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to Galveston. I've been to Galveston several times. Yeah.
That's where you guys go out of, isn't it, Mike?
Huh?
Isn't that where you guys sail out of? Is Galveston?
No, I don't. They have a.
Oh, it's Mike. It's Mike with that spells his name wrong.
Yeah. I don't do the Navy thing. I joined the Army because I like having my feet on the land. Then I joined the Airborne, and then I go, wow, what did I get myself into? So, yeah, that's why my body's all broken now. All right, we'll see you, Big Matt.
See you later, buddy. Well, jumping from plane. Did you ever do that? Jumping from plane stuff? Yeah,
I did that for 5 years at Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Okay.
And the doctor goes, well, how come this and how come that? And Terry goes, well, when he was in high school rodeo and he rode bulls, and he wasn't very good at it. And if you're not good at it, you get hurt a lot. So she goes that, and then he was in the Army, and then he was in the Airborne, then he was in the Air Assault Unit, and yeah, he'd been hurt, broke both feet, dislocated knees, dislocated hips, yada, 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 yada. He goes, well, that might be the cause of your problems. I say, you think? And my doctor's a little guy from India, and he grew up in India and all that kind of stuff. He goes, why a cow? Why would you get on top of a cow? I said, well, we're kind of different here than India, you know. We don't worship cows. We eat them.
Yeah.
It's like in Mexico. If you go to Mexico or Spain, they have these. I go, wow, look at that. They've got a stadium here, but it's not a stadium. It's made out of rock, and it's the old bullfighting arenas.
Okay.
And all these towns have one of these things, and you know, certain time of the month or once a week or whatever, they bring the, they do the bull fights. And of course, the bull has to die by the matador. Okay. He sticks the knives and the spears in him and stuff like that as he goes by. And then each bull or steer is sponsored by a restaurant in that town. So once the bull dies, they bring it there and the restaurant will cut it all up and barbecue it, and everybody goes to that restaurant and have a good time and things like that. So it's a celebration and stuff. So it's kind of neat.
That's really neat.
Yeah. Not for the bull.
Oh. Yeah,
not for the bull so much, but for the people and stuff like that. And people go, oh, that's so inhumane, but they've been doing it for 1,000 years. Bullfighting's been around forever, especially in Spain. So,
Bob asked, how many jumps have you done?
I've got 135.
He's at 1,104.
Yeah. That's a lot of jumps.
Well, and I'm sorry, you guys all did it for a career.
Yeah.
This butt's not jumping out of a perfectly good plane. I'd even have to consider it jumping out of a plane that's going down.
No, 1,104 is, yeah. There's master blasters in the Army that don't have 1,000 jumps. I mean, they're the guys who send you out the plane and stuff like that, and they train you at jump school and stuff. But yeah, when you go to jump school at Fort Benning, Georgia, the highest thing ever been was on the roof of my house. And then you go to Ungawa Tower and they send you up on a cable and you learn how to land and stuff and so on and so forth. So, but you go through all the training there, in 3 weeks of training, a lot of running, and a lot of, landing exercises and stuff like that. And yeah, you come out a little bit bruised and stuff like that, but I did 5 and they call those night jumps because when I first went out to bird, I didn't open my eyes and all of a sudden I hit the ground because I'd never jumped out of a plane before. So I just held on, and they call it night jumps because you don't open your eyes. And then they watch you when you hit and they go, hey, you didn't do that like we trained for. So you go through remedial training and all that stuff. So they said, you got to keep your eyes open. I said, I don't want to. So then then I go to Korea, then I go to Germany, then I go to Fort Bragg. And then at Fort Bragg, I was with the 101st MP company there. And we jumped. We probably jumped either every week or every other week because we still had a road mission on Fort Bragg and stuff like that. Because you got all the airborne 18th Corps, 82nd Airborne there. You got special SF group there, and so on and so forth. So I got 135, and when I left there, I never jumped out of the plane again. So,
and then you've got Mike from Vision Acres. He jumped 5 times just to be qualified.
Yeah, that's well. And then the sad thing is, and like me, when I first did it, I said, well, I did it. I'm a 5 jump chump. I got my badge. Okay. I got my badge. I did what I wanted to do. And then I said, okay, I went to Korea. Then I went to Germany. And then all of a sudden I got orders for the 101st MP company airborne at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And I go, oh God. And I got there and they go, oh, and as soon as you come in, they said, oh, where'd you been? I told them, oh, you're at 5 jump chump. We're going to change that. And yeah, I did 130 jumps while I was there. And the only ones I don't really like is the low level jumps. I mean, that's enough to get your chute out, slow you down a little bit, and then you just bite the dust. Yeah. And when I went to jump school, I was 162 pounds or something like that. And then all the weight, you got an additional 67 pounds worth of gear when you do a full combat jump. So that's a lot of weight on you. So
I guess. Oh, especially, yeah, that'd just tumble you, wouldn't it?
oh, he did a halo jump. Halo jumps where you have oxygen. You're jumping so high, you have to wear oxygen to a certain point so you can get out of the altitude because you can't breathe up there.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering what that was.
Yeah. Kids play Halo all the time, but they don't even know, you know, if you go in there and you're jumping you doing a Halo jump. I mean, I've jumped out of helicopters, you know, seated jump, static line, all that stuff out the door, out the back end of a C-130. You got all those things, but I mean, then like my grandson, he plays Halo, and oh yeah, Dad, I'm a whatever expert at this. I said, you ain't an expert at nothing. You push buttons, brother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
But it says you lost to Jason Crocker.
What's this?
I don't know. Ridge Life something said, he said, you lost to Jason Crocker. I don't know what that meant. Was Jason in here?
You lost to Jason Crocker. I don't know.
Maybe it's something up above. I don't know.
Go ahead, Tim. Explain yourself. Come on now.
What was that all about?
Oh, I don't know. Wow. 35,000 feet.
Yeah, dude, that ain't no joke. And you're at 35,000 feet and you got gear on you and everything's compressing. Yeah. Those are some bad dudes. Those are the guys that they jump so high, and the country they're jumping in, you know, almost looks like a dot. So they got a free fall for a long, long time.
Wow.
And they don't jump with the M1s. I mean, your basic parachute. Yeah, they're jumping down. When they get down to a certain level, they have a pillow and they glide down. They can control that.
Oh, okay.
Like you see, like football games and stuff like that. The guys fly in and they parachute in.
Yeah.
And then they have the smoke on their heels and yada yada. You can control the heck out of those chutes.
Okay.
You can control a little bit by adjusting your risers on a military chute like that, but you're at the mercy of the plane guy and them saying it's time to jump when you get the green light that you're over your target.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting feedback here. I don't know from how or why. There, let's try that. There we go. I fixed it. And see, I posted the link if somebody else wants to come on.
Yeah, because I'm boring.
Well, it's informative, and they do a lot of their military does a lot of their testing here. Their training out of our airport here, and there's been a few fellas that have ended up in the field across the road from me.
Yeah.
Oops. So.
Yeah, I jumped one time in Fort Irwin, California, and all of a sudden we flew across the LZ, the landing zone, and we got a green light, and we jumped. We were jumping out the back end of a C-130, and we took off. And as soon as I took off, normally what happens is when your chute comes open, you'll rock on the chute, right? When you're out the back end, especially because the wind catches your chute and you'll rock and you'll come out. And when I did that, I don't know. I was like upside down. I looked up and I could see that all of a sudden I see a red light in the back end of the C-130. Well, you get a red light, jumping stops. I'm like going, holy crap. And then all of a sudden, when I came back down, my chute was still flowing because we had hard surface winds and coming off the Teaford Mountain. And I'm going, holy crap, this is not going to be good. And it's dark. Okay. And the Pathfinders already had the chem lights and stuff down there. And I had my night vision goggles on. And I'm going, I can see them. And they're back over here. And I'm still going this way. And when I hit the ground, that chute stayed open and dragged me across that desert floor. I dislocated my right hip out of the socket. I broke both of my feet. And I dislocated my left knee when I landed into a ravine. And they didn't find me until it was daylight. So it was about 11 o'clock, and we jumped at like 4:30 in the morning. And I was laying down there, and the guy goes, "Oh man, that's a good man. You could have got bit by rattlesnakes." I said, that wasn't even in my mind. With the rattlesnakes and stuff like that out in the desert. I was just in so much pain because I couldn't move because I had my hip bone was sitting where my butt cheek is, and then my knee was dislocated off to the side, and then both of my feet were broken. I think I broke like 5 bones in one and 11 in the other foot. I tore it up. And so, yeah.
That's crazy. And people wonder why you walk the way you do.
Dude, I'm tore up from the floor up. Literally. So I've busted both legs, dislocated my hip twice, I broke 3 toes. I got shot and I had a compound fracture and an exit wound on my left leg. And dude, I'm happier than I've ever been in my life because I'm not in pain no more. I just walk funny because my bones are all messed up. Yeah. So,
absolutely.
Oh, and then I dislocated both shoulders too several times, and I've had surgery on both of those too. And then I had a back injury and had surgery on the back. So yeah, it's just I'm lucky I'm alive. And that's why I'm always happy. I'm still alive.
And that's why everybody says, a vet, thank a vet because it's not free.
No.
You bang up your body for that country.
Yeah, it's when I was in and I was a younger man, I really enjoyed going to all these countries and stuff like that they deployed us into and stuff like that. I never, ever wanted to go back twice. I went to Iraq 3 times. The first time sucked, and the other 2 times sucked even worse. But I've been to Bosnia 3 times, been to Kosovo, Macedonia, Poland, Czech Republic, Hungary, especially when they joined NATO. You have to go there and do all the force-on-force training with them, and then you give them a bunch of equipment and stuff like that when they join NATO. I've never been to Afghanistan. So, hey, there's Mike.
Hi.
But it was fun. Now that you look back on it, the military was fun. It wasn't fun when you're in it really a lot, but when you look back, you have fond memories and saying, hey, I survived and I work for the government now. And when I see soldiers, I just smile. They say, hey, Mr. Elmer, why do you smile all the time? I said, because you're in the Army and I'm not. And I'm retired and they pay me all this money not to come back in the military. So I'm a happy guy.
There you go.
Yep.
I remember flying when I was stationed in DC. I worked in Arlington National Cemetery for a couple of years. And I did their caisson platoon, their horse platoon there.
Yeah.
So I did that for a couple of years. And we used to go to Dover, Delaware for honorary transfers. So everybody that came back from overseas, we did honorary transfer on the tarmac there and brought them so we can render services. But one of the guys that was in the Black Hawk with us, we flew from DC to Dover in a Black Hawk. One of the guys that was in there, his father worked on government planes his entire life. And he goes, you never get in one unless your life's on the line. So he hated flying in them because government planes, they leak. Like they leak until they seal at altitude. No, those things leak nonstop.
Yeah, it's like a Harley Davidson.
Yeah, so we told everybody on the crew that he had a fear of it. So they started climbing and climbing and climbing. And then they told us, because he's trying to read a book, trying to feel better, and they tell everybody to hold on. So we all grab on, and they just start plummeting. He throws his book in the air. He's screaming, thinking it's great.
Yeah, I was in Fort Myer. I went there. I was the NCOIC of the Air Assault School in Fulda, Germany.
Okay.
And we had to come to the States for a training meeting in D.C. But before we went there, we had to meet with the commandant down at Fort Benning, Georgia. So we went in there for a meeting. Then some people were there, and we flew on a fixed wing to go to Belvoir because they have all the fixed wing Army aircraft at Belvoir to support the Pentagon and all that stuff. And so we went up there. Well, the guy who was my commandant used to be a platoon leader in the old guard. And he used to be in charge when his team was on duty. He was at the Tomb of the Unknown. That was his duty and he would go out there and changing the guard and do all that kind of stuff. So he took me there, and he took me on a tour of the whole place of Meyer, the caisson, everything. And then he took me underneath the rotunda where the guards get dressed and do all that stuff. And then I got to watch them go from white skivvies and T-shirt all the way to fully dressed, and all the other guards dressed for them.
And their entire mannerism changes too. They go from, happy-go-lucky, enjoying yourselves, having a good time, to just absolute professional, like a flip of a switch.
Because I'm talking to this one guy, and he's just as dumb as a rock, right? I mean, he's just a silly kid, and all of a sudden, when he's done, he looks fit to fight. I mean, they even put the back strap girdle on him and stuff like that to keep, because that's a lot on your back.
Yeah.
And it's like a fitting, almost like a little girdle thing that they have to put on there, and they dress you, and the guy told me, he goes, nothing about this uniform is within regulation.
No, I'm not going to pretend. I did that for years. We, all of our seams, we had our own presses and everything. We did that, but we all cheated. We stitched them all.
Yeah.
We stitch every seam in place. We use pins everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was there when the female MP got brought in for the old guard, and she wore a male's uniform when she was on duty and stuff like that. And the big uproar in the Army, that's not authorized and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. But it's such a tradition. The military is such a tradition. The history, the friends that you make, the friends that you make in the military, you may have a brotherhood or a friendship with somebody on the outside, but that's far and few between to what you made in the military.
It is.
And
you could not talk to somebody you knew in the military for 5+ years, and the minute you talk to them again, you pick right back up where you were, and it's like nothing's ever changed.
Yes. I mean, yeah. A lot of people that I've known in the military, their lives didn't go the way they thought they would go when they got out. And a lot of them tell me, they said, I was out for 2 years. I went right back. Yeah. I got out after I got shot and everything like that. They retired me off active duty. They said, you can't run no more, and yada. 9 months later, I took a PT test to go back in. My family just goes, "Are you freaking nuts?" I said, "No, I can't be without him. I need him."
You made the right decision. I got medically retired.
Yeah.
So I had a back fusion, and I've had 3 knee operations at this point. And they medically retired me. And when they did that, I asked to reclass because I was 11 Bravo, I was infantry. And they're like, "Sorry, we're downsizing. Not going to happen. You're going to retire." But I was 12 years in already.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
But when I got out, there was a hurt inside my chest.
Oh, yeah.
That I wasn't where I was supposed to be. This is not my calling to be a civilian working at for a steel company, which I was doing, painting red iron, steel, and stuff like that. I said, this is not what I was supposed to do. And then the limping stopped after a while. And then I started jogging and stuff. And I took the PT test. I went back there and they said, hey, you can pass the PT test. I went back in and I only lost one rank. I came back in as staff sergeant.
My hair is ridiculous.
So yeah, it was, I just had such a burning, like I lost something so dear to me, and I did everything I could to get back in.
I'm glad that worked out for you.
Well, and that's all you knew, right, at the time?
I did. That's it.
It was your life.
Yeah. I was breaking the law before I went into the military. My uncle, who was in the Navy, said, hey, you need to go in the MPs because you're going to go in there and you're going to be in jail before you know it. So I joined. He goes, you might as well be with the criminals enforcing the law. What? But I wouldn't have changed it for nothing. But then I went after a while, my last 6 years, I worked drug team over in Europe. And then that's when I got shot.
You probably stayed pretty busy.
Yeah. And I had earrings in my ears and it was a mess. And then I got shot and then they retired me and I came back in and they said, well, you have to come back in at the needs of the Army. So they put me in the chemical corps after that. And so I had to go to NBC school and I hated NBC training when I was an MP. So and I finished my career off that way. So
the only thing I found kind of close to that brotherhood when I got out, I started riding with the Patriot Guard.
Yeah.
And that was real nice. But then I ended up selling my motorcycle.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. I ride with Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association.
Yeah, CVMA.
CVMA. And I've been a commander, I've been a state rep, and I've been a regional rep for everybody outside the United States when I was in Korea. And I had something like 1,400 bikers living all the way around in the world to include Canada. And I had to take care of them, make sure they were taken care of, paperwork, and yada, 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 and so on and so forth. But I ride with them here, and that's my sanity, is getting out there and getting my wind therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I saw I'm friends with you on Facebook. I saw your secondary profile you were talking about.
Yeah.
And some of the guys I rode with the Patriot Guard are friends with you on there. And I'm like, hey, it's a squirrel.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have quite a big chapter of veterans that ride here.
Yeah.
Being around the national capital, right? A lot of the guys, the largest military base in Canada is an hour away from me.
Yeah.
So, there's some days 30, 40, 50 guys, you'll pass them and you look back and it's the veteran, colors on the back.
Yeah.
They do so much for like children's charities around here. And during COVID, there was one little fella that had special needs in Ottawa, and some of the guys had found out about it, and they went rumbling right through the subdivision, and they each had a stuffed toy. Yeah. And he was so upset that it was like his 8th or 9th birthday, but he couldn't have any of his friends over because of the hokey pokey. And they showed up, and I mean, they piled the end of that driveway with, not huge gifts, but stuffies and whatever for that little fella. It's the work that they do is just tremendous around the bases.
Yeah. It's our motto for CVMA is brothers helping brothers, and that motto means everything to me. What we give to those who don't have, and people in need that are veterans and stuff like that, and all the money that we raise through our chapters and stuff like that, it all goes to veterans charities. and we give all that. We give it away, hundreds and thousands of dollars. We just give away to help veterans, homeless veteran foundations, building homes for veterans, the shelters. We have one here in McAllister that has a veteran section for homeless vets and stuff like that. We furnish here in our chapter. We furnished all the beds, the linen, the blankets, and everything, dishes, everything for them to stand up this homeless veteran shelter here. So we're kind of proud of that. And again, I'm a Mason. I'm a Shriner. I spend all my time when I'm not working with these organizations for kids. And if you don't know about the Shriners Children's Hospitals and stuff like that, it takes about $19 million a day to run a Shriners Hospital. And Shriners are fitting the bill for all that stuff. I think the last one that was built was out in Vegas. And that one singer, Justin Timberlake, he is a Shriner, and he paid for the building to be built. So it's people like that people don't know of, and he never came out, never said anything. But Justin Timberlake, for what you see, he has a heart of gold inside, and he's given so much for those children. I think he pitched in $218 million of his own money to build that Shriners Hospital, the shell of it. And you can imagine all the equipment that it takes to equip a hospital like that. So
I had no idea he was even associated with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first I've ever heard of it.
Yep.
You know,
he doesn't talk about it. He doesn't talk about it. So, I mean, back in the day with Washington and all them guys, they were all Masons.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, look at the dollar bill. Look at the way DC's built. Yep. I mean, it's all means something. So, yeah, it's just a lot of people have stigmas about that, but the Shriners and the Masons and it is all about the kids. So if you're a Blue Lodge Mason, that's where you get born into the Masonry. We raise money at that level for kids with hearing impairments exclusively. And then when you become you go up to be a 32nd degree Mason, you either belong to the Scottish Rite Masons, which I am. And at that level, it's all about kids with vision impairments and stuff like that. All the money goes for kids like that. Then when you become a Shriner, it's all about the children's hospitals. So everything has a purpose, and there's a lot of kids and families that benefit from these charitable organizations that raise billions of dollars for the cause for kids. So.
Yeah, and we're so fortunate where we live. I'm within 2 hours of a Shriner hospital, which specializes in burns.
Yes.
The Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario, we have some of the leading pediatric cardiologists. Like they do all the research for all the kids worldwide. Yeah. And we've also got Ronald McDonald House, which houses family at CHEO that the children aren't going to make it.
Yeah. And
there's also a Rogers House is what it's called. Whenever I used to work for the the Ottawa Senators hockey team, NHL team, Roger Nielsen was a coach, and he was all about kids. Never had any kids, never got married. He gave his life to hockey, and they built this. I think it can house up to 7 families, and it's got all the amenities of a hospital, but it's a home setting. So there's food in all the cupboards and whatever. The families don't have to go out and buy food. And, that's what I tend to give to is to that one more than it kind of hit a personal, close to me, knowing Roger as he was a coach and nearing the end of his life, he would actually stay right in the arena. So 2-3 o'clock in the morning, he couldn't sleep. He'd come out and have a coffee with us. And, that's just the type of person he was. And they asked him before he passed, if they built this, would he allow his name to be used?
Yeah.
And they do some wonderful things for, I just can't even imagine going through, saying goodbye to a small child.
No. I said I had to say goodbye to my son in January of 20. I was in Korea, and my son called me and said, Mikey's died. And then I found out that he was on life support in a hospital up in St. Louis. And I went to the airport, and while I was at the airport, I called my boss and said, hey, I'm going to the States. He goes, oh, wait. I said, no, my son is in ICU, life support. I'm leaving. And I took off. And this was right before the February COVID date in 20. And there was no restrictions to fly and stuff like that. And I got on there and I flew for 16 hours. I got to the airport, got on, rented a car and went straight to the hospital. And there's nothing in the world. I mean, my son was 34 years old at the time, to see your child on their deathbed. So that's why I give so much of my time to kids' charities, because it's something I never want a parent to feel. So
I can't even fathom.
I've never been the same since then. So
there's not any words you can use for something like that.
No.
I've got 5 kids.
Yeah.
Along with my previous wife, 18 all the way down to 5, and I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
I can't.
And I tell people, I get people all the time, because I don't hide the fact that I'm a Mason, a Shriner, a veteran, and I get people all the time leaving comments or messaging me on our account and asking me questions about, hey, I've got a son, he needs help, and I'll stay up all night with the person, giving them information and stuff like that, and get them in contact with somebody to help their soldier. So, and like I said on our last live, 30% of the veterans that die in every year, 30% of them have never reached out for help. And that's a shame, because there's so much help out there. I don't know if it's pride or it's just them or what it is, but when 22 soldiers die every single day because of what's going up inside their brain, and a lot of them are people who've lost limbs and stuff like that, trying to deal with the fact that I have to start a new life and things like that. I get that. I mean, I wouldn't want to, it's scary that I've done so much and been deployed so many times. And, I've been hurt and stuff like that, but I've never been shot. I never lost a leg. I was just one of the lucky few.
Correct.
That got out. And I've got so many friends that are changing their lives, and not just them, their families. Okay. You sent your husband off and he came back with no legs. You just don't know the shock, the fear, and the pain that a family goes through to having their soldier start a new life. And that's a lot. That is a lot for a family to be asked to do.
Yeah. And it's not just the physically disabled. There was such a bad stigma over mental health in the military for so long that so many of us have held it in for years. When I got out, I had all kinds of issues. I'm not even going to pretend. I came out and I spent all my years in as the infantry. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've done a lot of stuff. I had a really hard time with it when I came out. I actually found my biggest strength by reaching out to others and
Yeah.
trying to help them through their issues while I kind of caged my own issues. But by helping them, it helped me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that came back, and you might not see anything physically wrong with them, but there's a lot going on. And in all honesty, since I got out, I have lost more people stateside than I lost in every one of my deployments.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
It is.
It's this side of the border too, guys.
Yeah.
It's just, now we don't have the number of soldiers you do, so it's not in the news as much.
Right.
Obviously our military's an eighth of the size of yours, but for the longest time, you just didn't talk about PTSD.
No. Oh, you didn't talk about it in the military at all, because that's going to affect how they think about me. Am I going to get promoted?
Yeah.
Am I going to get to go to schools? If anything's going to happen to me, that's the fear. But here's what people got to understand. When you join the military, right before you join the military, and I used to do a thing called Warrior Adventure Quest for MWR. And when you join the military from high school or whenever you joined, you were a normal person. The day you got off the bus at boot camp, you stopped being normal. From that day forward, your life is never normal again. And then you get deployed, and these young kids that are joining, knowing that they're going to get deployed over these last 20 years, and knowing that they're going to get deployed and they're going to be in harm's way and yada, yada, yada. They're still joining the military. So they join the military. They're not normal no more. They go to combat. They come back, and society wants you to act normal again.
But what's normal?
Yeah, there is no such thing as normal once you come back from something like that. The day you zip up your buddy in a bag and waiting for him to be medevaced out, or having your finger in a hole to stop the bleeding on someone that you call a brother or a sister, your brain is never going to be the same again. And trying to deal with that reality that you're living through. You came from mom and dad's house, and now you're in a world of shit. I'm sorry. And you're asked to do things that you never, ever thought you were ever going to be into. And then you have to deal with this on the mental side of it. And when you don't ask for help, you're compounding the problems and the issues that you really have. And I'm not saying that the VA is a savior at all. They have medicated more people to not to feel anything or to deal with reality. And you can't deal with reality through pharmaceutical ways. You need help. And there's so many organizations out there. And if you go to like mthomestead.com, I have it listed in there, places you can turn to, because I feel that strongly about it. Take aside from the whole YouTube thing, I put things in there when I find out organizations, crisis lines and stuff like that someone can listen to you, and that's all you need. So
the medication issue that the government has is they'll give you a medication to fix one thing, and they'll give you another one to continue doing it. But when you start having side effects, they'll start prescribing you medication to fix the side effects of a side effect of a side effect. And next thing you know, you're on dozens of medications to try to treat two symptoms. It's insane.
That's right, Patty. Shriners pay for it all.
Yeah.
Just like St. Jude. Yeah. They pay for it all.
And I just saw Laney pop in. Hey, Laney.
Number one, be yourself 320.
And I get that question, and I can't answer it. You alluded to it, how kids of today even want to put themselves out there. And I can't answer it. And, you know, Kyle's now been in 2 years, reserves, but he's told me since he was 10 years old what he was going to do.
Yeah.
No,
And
everything being said doesn't mean I'm going to change anything. I would never change what I've done or why I've done it.
No.
And I don't want to say it's worth it, but it's worth it. If that makes any sense at all.
He's been through football, and he alludes it to football. He's like, Dad, football was so structured, and it changed my life. And he's always, you know, he just didn't know what he wanted to do in the military, but since he was 10 years old, it was almost like he was letting his mom know, start bracing now in case something happens, Mom, I'm going in.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was the Air Force, and then we found out he was too tall. He didn't want to fly the choppers. He wanted, you know, the fighter planes. And he's 3 inches too tall. Yeah. So then he
can't even fit in a cockpit.
Yeah. Well, that's it. There's only so much room in a cockpit. And, and, you know, now that we had a flood here and we had the military in helping, and being on council here, I was interacting with a lot of the military guys, and that was in the spring of 19. And they're like, bring your son over. He wants to see, you know, there was guys there from infantry, MPs, like there was staff sergeants. I think there was, you name all different ranks. They're like, he can come and have supper with us, and we will tell him we're not going to sugarcoat anything.
Yeah.
We'll let him know what's going to happen. And from that day forward, it's been MP, and he's hell sent on that he's going MP. And I'm like, you know, I'm proud as hell, but he knows what he's getting into, and you know.
Well, I'll tell you that the majority of the people, because I was a drill sergeant, majority of the people that come into the military were like me. I came from a very poor family. There was no way that my mom raising 7 kids was going to put me into college. Now, I was number 925 out of 1,290 students in my high school. So I wasn't the smartest person in my school, but I wasn't smart enough probably to pass the ACTs and all that stuff. So it was either working at a gas station or fast food or doing something. And my buddy on graduation night, I said, so what are you going to do? He goes, well, I'm going to see my recruiter tomorrow. I'm supposed to go to the Met station and ship out. He was joining the Army. And I go, what? That never even hit me in my brain at all to do something like that. And I said, hey, I'll drive you down there. He goes, all right. So I drove down there, and I went in there, and the guy painted me a picture, and I called my uncle. The only person I knew that was in the military that was still alive. I called him, and he said, man, he goes, what did they offer you? He said, well, they said I had to take an ASVAB test or something like that. He goes, oh, yeah. And so he goes, just go do that. And then once they offer you something, give me a call. So, of course, I took the ASVAB and went to the MEP station, took the ASVAB, did all that stuff. And they came back and they said, well, you're not stupid, but this is what we can offer you. And so it had, you know, MP, mechanic, infantry, tanker, all this kind of stuff. It had all these things in there. And nothing really that had a lot of brain work to it. Okay. So nothing like a medic or, you know, your officer material or anything like that. So they offered me those things, and I had a sheet of paper, and I called him. He goes, oh, you need to take MP, because he goes, where your life has been going, you need to be on the side of the criminals, and you need to be a cop. So I said, wow. So that's what I joined. And that's how I came into the Army, just by a conversation, 5-minute conversation, sitting on the football field on graduation night. I decided my future. And I've been there. I went there and I stayed 25 years. So
you did better than me. I got suspended from high school for doing some stupid stuff, and I got suspended for 24 months because they wanted to make an example out of me.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, I was like, well, I got to do something because I can't transfer schools because I was under suspension, not expulsion, XYZ. So I went to the Marine Corps. They said, sorry, you don't have a high school diploma. Have a good life. Walked next door to the Army and said, what can you do? And they said, $35, we can get your high school diploma and you can go today. So, so I paid $35, got my high school.
My kind of recruiter.
Yeah. Paid $35, got my high school diploma. We were a year into Afghanistan at this point, and came in. They gave me my ASVAB squad taken in the past. They gave me 30 jobs I could do. Kind of second guessed it a little bit. Left, came back. Those 30 jobs turned into 15. I said, hold on now. Now you're yanking my chain. I said, I'm not doing this. You took away 15 of my options. I left and came back, and they said, this is the last time you're coming back, and here are your 3 options. You can be infantry, you can be Patriot missile operator, or you can be 88 Mike, a driver. Yeah. I was like, well, shoot. If I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it right. And let's join the infantry.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
The only thing Kyle did that test up here, and the only thing that he didn't qualify for was an engineer. Yeah. And he's like, Dad, I don't want to go to school for 10 years anyways.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And,
well, I talk to people. I talk to kids all the time, and I tell them, I said, hey, be smart about it when you join the military. Try to get into the Air Force. Try to get into the Navy.
That's what I tell everybody now.
Those are the people who don't sleep in the mud. That's number one. Number two is find a career. I mean, you can actually study for an ASVAB now. Study, get a good grade on there. Choose a career that you see that complements the civilian sector. Okay? Whether you want to be a nurse, whether you want to be whatever it is, air traffic controller, whatever they offer you, whatever it is, and see what that job is. And if you like it, that it correlates to a job in the outside. Now, he was 11 bang bang. Now,
that doesn't correlate to anything. I can knock on doors.
Except for the people that are over in Afghanistan right now, getting people out of Afghanistan.
Contractor. There's I got offered a lot of contract work.
Yeah, a lot of contract work. But that means no family. Correct. No family life whatsoever. Yeah. And you're in a foreign country, and if you get found out, they're going to pull the left lateral.
I might be a little too red, but I think the beard might work.
Well, yeah, that's what I tell people. You make a career decision, just don't settle on that. And a lot of people that come in the military are people like from my background that didn't have any options after high school, and there was no other place to go, or you're just going to be hanging around with the same guys that you did in high school, and there's no future for you. So do it smart, do it right. I know parents don't want to hear it. They want everything but that. But there's a lot of kids that have no option whatsoever. And the family has no options because they can't afford to send you to college with the way it's going now. And then they dangle this thing of what, $60-something thousand in Montgomery GI Bill or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think Montgomery GI Bill got changed in, I think it was like 2006 or 8 to the post 9/11.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so they show this money. This is your college fund, and you got 12 years to use it once you get out of the military. So that in itself, I can go to college and I don't have to pay a dime. Okay, so there you go. So they dangle that in there. Plus, there's bonuses for certain MOSs and so on and so forth. So those things they have that when you come from nothing, that's like living on a castle on a hill. Mm-hmm. And people jump on it all the time.
Just like you said, I tell everybody that's interested in the military now to join the Navy or the Air Force because when I'm sleeping in the same conditions that when I first joined, we had at Fort Myers where I was at, so we had all branches of service there. So when I'm staying in the barracks from World War II, and the Air Force is on the floor above me, but they're getting an extra $300 a month for quality of living issue because our barracks aren't good enough for the Air Force. I'm like, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Wait, I can live in it, and I'm DOD just like they are, but they get extra money because it's crappy living.
It's not up to Air Force standard. That's right.
I just got a clear chat. Garden State Garden, you must be drinking at work. If you think Rutgers are going to take out Syracuse tomorrow, sir, I don't know about you. But
does Rutgers even have a sports team anymore?
Oh yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, that flood that they had yesterday or last week, they kind of floated into the stadium.
I'm just kidding, Joe.
A little friendly banter.
I can't join in. Y'all are speaking French to me right now. I have no cable TV at the house. I've got nothing. I don't even pay attention to sports. I go to work, go back home, go to work.
I'll tell you what, our house, we have Apple TV box. It's about that big. It runs on our Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't watch anything. If it's not on that Apple TV, well, even if it's on there, I don't watch it anyway. But I either watch Netflix, Paramount Plus, or I watch YouTube. That's it. Those are the channels I watch.
YouTube is our go-to because we don't have a traditional internet service provider at the house. I use hotspots, and we only get 100 gigs a month on our hotspot. YouTube tends to take up a lot less bandwidth and data compared to the Disney Pluses and Netflixes and everything. So y'all are my TV.
Yeah,
every one of y'all.
Yeah. So I think we paid like $230 for that Apple TV box, and I mean it's loaded. It's crazy. And we paid one time, and that was 5 years ago, and we're still using it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I hope I can find that game tomorrow. I still have the NCAA network, so I will let you know if I'm watching the game.
Hey, but
when
you got to remember something. If you can get what is it called? YouTube Live. If you have, I think it's called YouTube Live.
Don't they got a YouTube TV too?
It's different. Yeah. They cover every channel. I watch every sports game on YouTube live.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I didn't even
honestly. The only thing I miss is hockey. Hockey was my go-to sport.
You just you see what's on live, then you can go to where it says games, and you go down and you can select hockey, football, on basketball, whatever, and whatever's playing on there, it's on this YouTube channel live.
I'll have to check that out.
I'm gonna have to check that out because if I can save.
Well, hang on. Let me make sure I told you the right thing.
Yeah, I was going to mess with you earlier, Scott, when you mentioned a Canadian hockey team working for him. I was about to say I have to unfollow you. I don't know if I can deal with that.
Just a sec. Deb's just feeding the dogs. Okay, now what was that? Sorry.
I said I almost had to unfollow you earlier after you named an unspoken Canadian hockey team that you used to work for.
No, I don't follow them. I don't like them.
There you go. You just worked for them for a little bit?
4 years.
And you don't like them? You had no personal...
It was a second job, and it was converting the rink from concerts and whatever. And then I worked my way up to building engineer. And we had a falling out with the NHL lockout in 20.
Was it? That wasn't 12.
2005. 05, I think was the
5 or 6.
Yeah, either 5 or 6. Yeah. And I've been in the place twice because I was given tickets. And that's the last. I'd never pay to go back into that building.
Gotcha. I got to sign off here. My work phone's ringing. Mike, it was good seeing you. Scott,
so it's called YouTube TV.
There you go. I'll look
YouTube TV. And Terry has it on her pad. It's just an app that you download, and then she can go like this and swipe it to the TV, and it goes from her pad straight to our big TV. A smart.
Oh, that's just fanciness right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be in the chat. I appreciate y'all.
All right.
All right.
Have a blessed day.
But yeah, no, that's so YouTube.
You just hit the 2-hour mark.
I know. Yeah, no, well, I don't know if you saw my last video, but Brandon helped me out and hooked me up with my new logos, and not going to get scammed again this time.
Oh, okay.
Because the guy, I went to put it on my merch, and they weren't compatible files. So I went back to the guy.
Wasn't it did you get it in a PNG file?
Yeah, but it wasn't compatible. You can't adjust it. The guy wrote something into the program that they're not, you can't use it. So people try and try and try. They could not break it. So Brandon helped me out with the ones that I have up on my video there that I posted just before I went live.
Yeah.
And they're already a file that I know is going to work. So hopefully this weekend I can get some stuff going.
Who are you using for your merch?
Not sure.
Are you not sure who you're going to use?
Either Teespring or Bonfire.
Okay.
The other ones in Canada want my credit card. So everybody's order goes on my credit card, and it's my, then I have to do all the collections and whatever. I'm like, it's not what I want.
Yeah, but if you do it that way, and then how are the people on the receiving end paying for it? They got to pay you directly?
Yeah, they'd have to pay my PayPal, and then they'd have to pay my PayPal, and then I'd throw it on my credit card, and then the difference would stay on my credit card.
So then when you do your taxes, you have to show your profits, and then you have to go turn around and show your loss on paying it out. No, wow, that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, not
interested. We on ours, all they do is they give us an end of the year statement, and you add that, like if we make $2 off of a shirt for the whole year, whatever it was, then that's what we have to show as earned income from another source. So,
well, like I said, you, Terry, and I have talked about it. I'm not out to make any money whatsoever.
No.
What I make from it is going to go back into getting merch that I can give away.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to make a dime off of it.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up losing on it, but and again, I don't care.
Yeah.
This whole thing is not that's not the end goal of this.
No.
The end goal is to have fun and chit chat and meet a whole bunch of new friends, and it's who would have ever thought, like even 2 years ago, that beyond chatting with a bunch of people from the US, London, Australia, Jamaica, the Davises were here. So, I don't know. I just think it's absolutely an amazing, no, my YouTube's not for my daughter. I was going to set up the shirts for my daughter.
Yeah.
No. Nobody, Debbie wants nothing to do with it, and that's perfectly fine. That's her decision. This is my, she goes to work and whatever. And sometimes whenever I started it, I was locked at home. I had no outside contact. unless I wanted to go to the grocery store, and, and I didn't want to go anywhere. So, yeah, it's all fun and games.
Yeah.
But
well, I think I'm gonna get up here. I gotta get some stuff done. I gotta go to town. I gotta drop my bow off. They're gonna restring my hunting bow. And then they're going to let off some poundage off my bow because I was in there the other day and I have a 70-pound bow and I can't pull it back because the surgeries I've had on my shoulders. But then I tried a 60-pound bow and I can pull that one back. So they're going to restring my bow, break it off. Lower it down to a 60-pound bow so I can start getting ready for deer season. So, and I love shooting a bow. I've got a crossbow too, but I really love shooting a compound bow. So I'm going to go do that and walk these dogs before I leave. And I hope you have a blessed day, Scott.
Yes,
you too. Coming in here.
You stay safe, and
yes,
I hope Carrie stays safe on her way home, and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll see you on
in the chat, and we'll see you.
All right, buddy. Take care.
All right. I think we're going to do a Sunday shout out this week.
Okay.
Sunday at 2:00, we're going to do shout outs to some channels and stuff like that on Sunday. We chose 2:00 because people get out of church and all that kind of stuff, and they get done with the lunchtime meal and things like that. So hopefully we can catch some people there. Hope we see everybody in there. And
there was a good turnout 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, really was.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you.
Take care.
All right, brother.
All right. So, yeah, that was an eventful military-filled Friday, which it's all good. And hey, Alicia, how are you? Cutting the grass. Do you want to come cut mine? I gotta go out and do my lawn. It's been raining here the last couple of days, and it's sunny right now, but I hear it's raining about an hour away. So I'm gonna have yet more rain, which will increase the length of the grass. But I'm glad you found it interesting. It's it's a great community, and any way that promote the vets, and if there's one person that was sitting in the background watching that today's discussion could have helped, it's been a successful day. And anyways, I am going to ramble on, and I've got some stuff that I got to get done. And just a couple of shout outs I want to do tonight, 7:30 Central. Little Southern Brothers. Hopefully they can break their goal today. And if they do, then on the 20th will be a great shindig. And E3 Farmstead, Chris and Sarah, they'll be going live Monday at 7:30 Oklahoma time, which is, I guess, still Central. All right, Heather, you take care, and Lainey, bye-bye. And yeah, E3 will be live doing their giveaway. If you haven't went over to E3 Farmstead's channel, please go over now. And there is a couple things you have to do to be entered into the giveaway. So go over, do the requirement, and we will see you. It'll be after LG's live Monday night. So hopefully we will see everybody there. And like you say, God bless, have fun, and everybody have a blessed weekend. Now, if I can turn this off on my phone is another question.